Hello and welcome. My name is Crystal. For today's practice, we'll be working on spinal mobility and lengthening to create space between the vertebrae. Have blocks and a blanket nearby if needed to make some of the poses more accessible. We'll begin in an easy seated pose. Sitting comfortably with our shins crossed, place your hands in a prayer position. Allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears. Root down through your sit bones. Lengthen up through your spine, reaching through the crown of your head. Inhale and move your arms above your head, reaching up tall. Twist open to the right. Your left hand can come into your right knee, and your right hand comes behind you. Hold for 5 breaths. Inhale your arms above your head, again reaching up tall. Then twist open to the left. Right hand can come onto your left knee, and your left hand comes behind you. Holding for 5 breaths. Move your hands onto your knees. We're gonna do it slowly, starting to circle your torso to the left, keeping your sit bones grounded to your mat. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you round your back, round back. Take your time, enjoy the gentle stretch in your lower back as you circle around.
Exhale, so go back.
Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you round back. Now slowly turn to the right. Inhale as you come, just changing direction. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you come back. On an exhale, we're going to go into seated cat pose. Round your back, draw your shoulder blades apart, hug your navel towards your spine, and gaze towards your belly for seated cat pose. For seated cow pose, inhale, press your chest forward as you draw your shoulder blades together and draw your back. Draw down your back for seated cat pose. Cycle through these with your own breath. Moving into a staff pose, sit with your legs stretched in front of you. Draw your shoulder blades together. Flex your feet. Place your hands flat next to your hips, fingers facing forward. Reach your crown toward the sky. Relax your shoulders. Hold the pose and take deep breaths. Now bring your right foot over your left leg, placing it by the knee. We're going to move into a twist. Place your right hand behind you and raise your left hand to the sky. Place your left elbow over your right knee and twist to the right. Gaze is over your right shoulder. Come into a counter pose, just turning and twisting the other way. We're gonna, if you could wrap this leg under, we're gonna come into a cradle pose. Draw your right knee up towards your armpit. Wrap your arms around your shin, bringing your foot towards your bicep. Keep your foot flexed. Rock your leg from side to side. Now cow face pose, cross your right leg over your left, stack your knees on top of each other. Point your toes behind you. Bend your left arm and bring it up between your shoulder blades. Bring your right arm up and see if you could touch your fingers. Oh, good. We're gonna just release your legs and come back into the staff pose. Use your feet flexed, your palms on the ground, fingers pointing forward. You can bring your left foot over by your right knee. Bend your right leg so the right comes near your sit bone. We're going to move into a twist. Place your left hand behind you and raise your right to the sky. Putting your elbow by your knee. Good twist. Looking over your left shoulder. Can come into the counter, twist the other way. Can face forward, draw your left knee towards your left armpit, and you're just gonna reach around your left shin You're just gonna, with your foot flexed, rocking. Coming into a cow face, cross your left leg over your right, stacking your knees on top of each other with your toes pointed behind you. Bend your right arm behind you, bringing your hand between your shoulder blades. And then your left arm comes up. See if you could touch your fingers. You can release out of this pose. Unwind your legs. You're going to come into a mountain pose. Shifting your weight onto your right foot. Put your hands at prayer and place the sole of the left foot against. Oh my God, yeah. We're beginner tree pose. Place the sole of the left foot against the inside of the grounded ankle with the big toe touching the floor. You could raise the sole of the left foot to the shin of the standing leg. Just don't press against the knee. Slowly lower your arms, coming back into mountain pose. Shake out your arms and legs. Coming into a chair pose, stand with your feet together or hip width apart. Reaching your arms towards the sky with an inhale, palms facing each other. Bend your knees with an exhale and shift your hips back and down as if you're sitting on a chair. Make sure that your knees are not beyond your toes. Gaze between the palms.
Something about knees, toes?
Make sure that your knees are not past your toes.
Oh, okay.
Coming into a revolved chair pose, bring your hands to the heart center in a prayer position. Lengthen your spine and twist to the right, hooking your left elbow on your right knee. Press the palms into each other to help maintain a straight spine. Coming forward, we're going to come into a dangling pose. Coming back up into a mountain pose. Inhale, raise your arms overhead, lengthening your spine, dropping your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, bend forward from the hips with a straight back. Drop your arms and head towards your shins. Grab your elbows with opposite hands. Keep a slight bend in your knees. extending your spine as you exhale. You may gently sway from left to right. Coming back up into mountain pose, shifting your weight to your left foot. Your hands coming into prayer. Coming into a tree pose, place the sole of your right foot against the inside of your left leg. You have the option to raise up to shin. Just don't press against your foot against the inside of your knee. You could turn your knee toward the side. Okay, you can release back into mountain pose. Shake your feet out. Stand with your feet together, hip width apart. Reach your arm towards the sky with an inhale, palms facing each other. Bend your knees with an exhale and shift your hips back as if you're sitting in an imaginary chair. Making sure your knees are not beyond your toes. Gaze between your palms. Bring your hands to heart center in a prayer position. Lengthen your spine and twist to the left, hooking the right elbow onto the left knee, pressing the palms into each other to help maintain a straight spine. Releasing back up into mountain pose. Inhale, raising your arms overhead. Lengthen the spine. Relax, drop your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale and bend forward from the hips with a straight back. Dropping your arms and head down towards your shins. Grabbing your elbows with opposite hands, keeping a slight bend in your knees. Extending the spine as you exhale. You can gently sway from left to right. Coming into a Garland pose, you could walk your feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Bring your hands to the prayer at your chest, your toes pointing out. On an exhale, slowly lower into Garland pose or yogic squat. Releasing that, coming into a downward facing dog. Put your palms and then you're gonna put your feet back, curling your toes, feet hip width apart, grounding hands down into the mat, and exhale, lifting your hips up. Bringing your heels toward the ground. Pushing your chest towards your thighs. Coming into low lunge, step your right foot between your arms. Lower your left knee, uncurl your toes. Your right arm's gonna reach up and overhead. Right knee over right ankle. Exhale, sink your hips down a little. If you're comfortable, you can add a gentle back bend. Revolve low lunge. Place your left hand inside the right foot and send your right arm up into the sky. Your gaze should follow your right arm up. Think about really opening the chest. You can lower your arms, bring your leg back, coming on your toes into a plank. Shift forward with an inhale, unwinding your shoulders over your wrists. Engage your core and legs, gaze diagonally downward. If you need to lower your knees to the floor, you can do that. You can lower your knees now, mat width apart. You're gonna let your belly rest between them and your forehead on the floor in child's pose. Coming back into the yogic squat, the Garland pose. Walking our feet a little bit wider than hip distance, bringing our hands to prayer at our chest with our toes pointing out. On an exhale, slowly lowering down. Coming back into our downward facing dog, put your palms on the mat, bring your legs back, feet hip width apart, grounding your hands into the mat, and exhale, lift your hips, lowering your heels toward the ground. Coming into a low lunge, step your left foot between your arms, lowering down your right knee, uncurling your toes, arms reach up overhead, left knee over left ankle. Exhale, sink into your hips down a little. If you're comfortable, add a gentle back bend. Place your right hand on the inside of your left foot and send your left arm up to the sky. Your gaze should follow your left arm. Think about really opening your chest here.
Yeah, not happening.
Lower your arm and bring your legs back, coming on your toes to plank. Shifting forward on an inhale, aligning your shoulders over your wrists, engage your core and legs, gaze diagonally downward. You could lower your knees to the floor if needed. Coming down back into child pose, lower your knees to the floor, mat width apart. Let your belly rest between your thighs. Rest your forehead on the floor, your arms extended in front of you or tucked behind you. Coming up into a tabletop, come on all fours. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Thread the needle. On an exhale, lead the right arm behind your left wrist to the side. Rest your right shoulder, right arm, and right ear on the mat. Staying here for 5 breaths. You can extend your right arm out, or you could wrap it behind your back. If your arm is wrapped, you can release that. Pressing into your right hand on the mat, push yourself up. Coming into a puppy dog pose. Walk your hands forward a little bit, making sure your hips are stacked above your knees. Let me move back. Let your heart melt into the mat while you lower onto your forearms. Rest your forehead on the floor, breathing deep into the stretch. To deepen the chest opening of puppy dog, lift your palms and elbows from the floor and just place the tip of your fingers on the mat. Come up on all fours into a tabletop pose, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Threading the needle on an exhale. Is it hard? Which way did I go? Squeeze your right arm behind your left. I think I did it wrong last time. Yeah, putting your head on the side of your face on the mat. You can put your arm on ahead of you, or you could wrap it behind your back. Opening your chest. You can unwrap your arm, pushing your palm on the floor, lifting yourself up. Coming back into a puppy dog pose, walk your hands forward, making sure the hips are still stacked above the knees. Let your heart melt into the mat. Lower onto your forearms, rest your forehead on the floor, breathing deep into the stretch. To deepen the chest opening effect of puppy dog, lift your palms and elbows from the floor and just place the tip of your fingers on the mat. Coming into a child pose. Lowering down to the floor. Put your knees mat width apart, lowering your belly to rest between your thighs. Resting your forehead on the floor. Your arms can be extended in front or tucked behind you. For half wind release pose, we're going to come and lie on our back. Bring your right knee your chest. And straighten out your left knee. Allow your hands to squeeze the bent knee towards your body. With your left hand, gently draw your right knee over to the left side, as far as comfortable. Right arm is straight out to the right, shoulder grounded, gaze over your right shoulder. Returning to center, you're gonna lower your right leg and then bring your left knee to your chest, pulling it in with your arms. Gonna lower your left knee to the right side. You can extend your left arm and look over your left arm. Releasing back to the center. Coming into a happy baby pose, bring both feet towards your chest, towards your armpits. Put the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Grab the outsides of your feet, trying to keep your sacrum on the ground. You could just rock from side to side. Massaging your back as you rock from side to side. We're coming into Savasana, corpse pose. You may want to put some layers or a blanket light on your back. Bring your feet hip width, feet wide, and let them flop open. Bring your arms several inches away from your torso, palms up, making any minor adjustments needed so that you're completely comfortable. Closing your eyes and find stillness. Hold the pose and take natural breaths. Focus your attention on your breath. Slowly come back to your breath. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. You can circle your wrists and circle your ankles. Roll your head from side to side. Bringing your knees to your chest, you could rock side to side. As you're rocking from side to side, you can roll onto the side that's more comfortable. Roll onto your favorite side with your head resting on your arm. Extend your arm out to the side. When you're ready, push yourself up into a seated, easy cross-leg position. You can rest your palms on your knees. We're going to lift our arms up, and you can put your right arm behind you and do a stretch to the left. Oops, to the right. My sides mixed up. Put your left arm to the side and stretch to the left. Put your right arm to the side and stretch to the right. Your arms coming up over your head, stretching to the side. Put your left arm on the mat, and then stretch your right to the side. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, put your right arm on the mat, stretch your left arm to the side. I'll keep doing it until I get it right. Put your left arm down behind you. You can reach your arms forward. You can take your hands and move them toward the right as far as you can go, and just rest there. Coming back to the center, bring your hands to the left as far as you can go, just resting there. Keeping your sits bones on the ground. Coming back to the center, just reach your arms up overhead, back down, inhale, arms up overhead, back down, inhale, arms up overhead, back down. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today.
That was freaking awesome.
It was? Thanks.
That was great.
Thanks.